Hello everyone. This is OdesMay. Welcome back to my channel. If you subscribe, and if you're yet to subscribe, please just click on the subscribe button, like, comment, share my videos, and I will get back to you how you are doing. I hope you all are staying safe and healthy. Welcome back to my channel once again. It's story time. Today's story is titled Eguale The Good Boy. Eguale The Good Boy. So it's story time. If I hear pimp, you go hear win. Story. Once upon a time, there lived a good boy, a very good boy, Eguale. Eguale was so useful to his parents. Always listens and does his work properly. Listens to instructions and always takes permissions for whatever and what he wants to do. He was good. And he loves his grandfather. So he requested that he go live with his grandfather. His grandfather was blind. And he didn't want anyone to maltreat his grandfather. So he requested that he go live in a village with his grandfather. And so his parents granted him the wish. So he moved from the city to the village to go live with his grandfather and take care of his blind grandfather. And so while he was there, he was so useful to his grandfather that his grandfather was so happy, was always praying for him and blessing him every day. He was so useful to him and even to the community. Eguale was always going as every now and then to go to the youth center a rich man built for his community. He built it just a way to give back to the community. So the youths were always going there to learn, to play, and to have meetings. And there were these two troublesome boys. They were always going to that youth center too. They didn't like Eguale, because they thought Eguale was just too good of a person and everybody liked him. And they were looking for a way to mess up his personality because they were not good themselves. So they were looking for a way to make him look bad in front of everyone too. I started to be friends with Eguale. One day they went to Eguale's house and gave Eguale a box. They told Eguale to help him keep the box. It was a piggy bank, but to help him keep the box, so they do not spend the money anyhow. Eguale believed them because he was good and trusting. Eguale took the box and kept it. And so the two troublesome boys left. Eguale's grandfather overheard the conversation and called Eguale. He told Eguale to be very careful of those boys, that he doesn't trust them, and they actually might want to put him in trouble. Eguale assured his grandfather that all was well, that he was just keeping the box for them, that he was in no way getting himself into trouble, that he will be careful. His grandfather insisted that he should be careful, that he's an old man and he's experienced about life. He said what an old man can see while seated, and what an old man can see afar off while seated, a young man cannot see it even if he climbs an iroko tree. That he's an experienced man about life, and so he should be careful. So Eguale promised he would be careful. The next day, Eguale's grandfather heard a knock on his door. And when he opened the door, he asked who was at his door. They said they were the community police looking for Eguale. Eguale's grandfather was shocked and asked the community police why they were looking for his grandson. The community police told them that two boys went to steal from the rich man, and they took a box, and they said the box was with Eguale, and Eguale is part of them, and so he has to come with them to the station to explain himself. Eguale's grandfather told them that Eguale was not part of them, that it was a frame-up. They said, well, that he still has to go with them to the station to tell them his own part of his story. So they took Eguale with them to the station. Eguale's grandfather had to call everyone he knows to help out because he's a blind man. There was nothing much he could do. So he called everyone that he knows to go help Eguale. So after in the investigation, they found that Eguale was not actually part of the gang. And they tried to frame him up because he was a good boy. And so Eguale was freed. Ever since, Eguale was very careful with his friends. Friends that pretend to be friends, enemies that pretend to be friends. He was very careful with enemies that were pretending to be friends. And so while those boys were released from prison, he made sure when the boys were going one way, he goes the other way. He was very careful with how he conducts himself in public so nobody frames him up again. Because it was not a good experience he had being framed up for what he knows nothing about. And so, this is the end of my story. And if you believe anything I just said, Hawa turned